This video is about taking those analog drawings, scanning them or photographing them, putting them into Illustrator and refining them. So if I jump into the image, the scan I've got of that drawing, I've placed it into Illustrator, and the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to lock, and I can go to lock selection. The same thing here. If I have the layers, I could make a new layer above it and lock one layer, but I've locked it so I can't bump it. When I come into Illustrator, I've placed my scan of my drawing in here. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to knock the opacity right down on it, so I'll be able to see my drawing over the top. And other than using the layers and making a new layer and locking it and everything, I can actually just go Object, Lock, Selection. I'll have to go back to the same place if I want to unlock it, but at this stage I can't bump anything. And then I can play around with drawing these shapes in. One trick that I like to use is if I get the pen tool, I can click this kind of shape in as a square. I need to give it a fill of none, so it's just the line. But if I draw all of this in, what I can do afterwards is I can get the white selection tool. I just click on that one point, drag down. You can see I can slope that forehead right off, but I'm just going to give it a little bit of a curve. This one here, I probably want it to have a much larger curve. Again here, I can click on the point, get that curve there, maybe that one, push it a bit more, but I'll leave it like that. This bit here looks like a rectangle, so I'm going to drag that out. Then with the arrow tools, I'm going to be able to rotate it. Rotate. So with that rectangle, I can come outside the corner and I can rotate it, move it into place. I can still scale it up a wee bit if I wanted to match this corner here, and now I can come in, have a look at this point here and see if I can start to refine it a wee bit. So again, we've got this thing here where I can curve it, but I just want one point, so I'll grab one point. I can curve that. I can select around these points so that I can drag it out a little bit further. If I click on this line, move it up and down, I'm just trying to line it up with that corner a little bit more. And so what I can do here, if I like the look of that, if I want to put a little bit of curvature to the beak, then I can come in here and put a point in, go P for pen tool, add another point. If I hold down the command key, it's going to change to that, and actually I'll do it in two stages. So I'll do it like this. I might just get rid of that point and drag this out a bit just so I can make sure that this smooth is not this curve is nice and smooth how I want it. Again, I can curve the little wee bit by pulling the point. This bit here, I'll drag that in, get it how I want, and I'm just going to go option, and I'm going to drag this down for a second. And what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to put in a couple of points, and then I can minus out these other ones. So I'm essentially putting in a square end there. I can move that up into place, just making sure that all those shapes kind of cross over each other. This little corner bit I'm going to pull in. I can grab this line and make it a bit wider. And actually, if I want to have that hook on the beak, I'm going to leave it there. And I'm going to grab both of these objects and I'm going to scale them a little bit using the shift key. So I'm getting everything lined up here. Remember that with the Shape Builder tool, I can highlight this, Shape Builder, can come in here, click on that, I've got one shape, click on this, I've got my other shape, so here I've got two shapes that line up, so that's all sorted, and then we can kind of go into the next bit. This I'm just going to drag that a little bit more so it crosses over. Just make sure it goes in that the head of this piece here, and so I can continue on with the drawing. So in this case, what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a circle, hold the shift key, move it roughly into place, and I'm going to get the pen tool, click on it, so I add a point, and with this selected, I'm going to drag it down here. I'm going to go Command Y so that I can make sure that everything's right on that mark. Shift C changes the convert point tool, so I know that's going to be a kind of corner point now. I'm going to drag out on that because I'm kind of thinking, actually I might want a little bit of curvature here, so I'll work with these points with a bit of curve, just so I've got a wee bit of flexibility. P, I'm going to put another point, probably back up here, minus this one, and that may not look too bad. So what I'm going to do here is, again, I'll grab all of these shapes and it's back to the Shape Builder. So these, whoopsie, too much. That one joins, this one joins, these join together. I can also make this other shape a distinct shape, this one here, if I want it to line up, or at the moment it's probably going behind. So everything's starting to look good. I'll do a circle for the eye, and I think there are a couple of hot spots. as well that were there before. So I'll grab these, go to line of none, black, and I'll just grab these two pieces here and fill them with white, line of none. Good. So this is just using the shape builder tool, and everything is starting to take effect. Again, these pieces here, you know how to use the pen tool, so I can just draw on some of these points, do that curve up, and it gives us a nice little curve. And again, shape builder is the easiest way to do this. Join them together. I can see I've got some funny little points here, so with P for the pen tool I can minus one of them off, and I could also get rid of that point and control that forehead curve. I'll just make sure that the fill is none so I can see that image underneath. If I want, I can decide to curve that or leave it straight. And actually, to be honest, I prefer it as a, maybe I'll give it a little wee bit of a curve. And you just keep going down the body, making these changes. Let's try another one here, as I can come in and trying to line up with this line. And remember, you can do it just as a square shape. What you're going to notice is that I'm going right out and around. That just makes it easier with the shape builder tool, because it means I can come in here, I can define that area, I can define this, I can use the option key to minus out that bit, I can do the curve back in here, and I probably should have done that before messing around with the shape builder tool, but I can just drag that line over, and again I can kind of do the shape builder thing again. I can define that area, I can define this, and we're going to find all those shapes separating out nicely. So just going down the body, adding to it, developing these things. So in this case, I'm just going to use the pen tool. Again, just kind of doing geometric shapes. Drawing them in and shape builder. Oops. Shape builder. Getting them, and again some of these points. Adjusting the curve. Yeah, again, rounding off that chest and deciding how I'm going to deal with this area here. So with P, I can just minus out that area. You can see that it's going to make that pretty straight. I can decide whether I want the neck to be a bit thin and to kind of angle out. This might be a bit smoother if it's a double Bezier handle. And how will we deal with this area over here? So we can go in and have a look. You can see there's a funny little bit as everything crosses here, so we'll go in and have a look and see what's happening. It's just a mismatch of crossing lines. Just going to minus out these points. Yeah, that all lines up perfectly. So I might leave that sharp edge there for a moment, and I'm going to try and draw a circle for this arc. Shift, bring it down into play. That might work, so we'll see how it goes. I've got the shape builder tool. I haven't. Okay, so this one was just a little bit off. Shape builder. So click that. This becomes one shape, and I might have to go in and do a little bit of tidying up around these points as well. And you can see around here it's a little bit messy. So again, I can tidy that up with the shape builder. So looks like there's just an extra little shape there, so it's probably easier if I just take that one out. And so the same thing, we can go through and start to dissect up these shapes and play around with them, but at the moment, let's start to put some colours in. So the top of the head, I'll give it a darkish blue. Just make sure that there's no lines on anything. I think this was a yellow, so I'll get the fill. Bit of an orangey yellow. I'll just pull this out a little bit more, so it's easier to see those colours and get exactly what I want. Kind of deeper yellow, no line. this one here. Maybe I'll do the top of that bill is a slightly lighter blue. Again, line of none to see how that's looking. And the bottom one, maybe a kind of a softer yellow to tie in with the blue. Line none. So there's a line through the middle there. Object arrange, just send it to the back just so I can get this line out. So we'll come in and have a closer look. So that all seems good. The image in the background, we can kind of unlock that now and take it out. So object, unlock all. You can see it's come up highlighted. I can delete it. Now we're just dealing with this image. So it does look like there's a few odd lines. So if I drag over everything, shift, deselect 2 bits of the beak, and then I can just get rid of that. Looks like there's a funny little corner piece here. So again, the same thing. In fact, what I'll do is I'll select all of this and I'll do the deselect thing again. Deselect the blue, deselect the yellow and the beak. Whatever's left over, I just delete. So going around this bit for the chest. With that blue there, I'm going to get the eyedropper, click on that yellow, and just darken it up slightly. And again, just working with the colours. Okay, and I can start to stylize things, digitize it, and play around with the colors and the shapes, getting it just the way I want it. Looks like there. No, it looked like there was a black line. Anyway, good.